EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
What's up, guys? It's JTV Gaming here, and today we have the 4th episode of our Würzburg Road to Glory. And to start this episode off, we're looking at our youth academy. I've decided to send our first scout out to Norway to find some defensive-minded players, our second scout to Denmark to find some physically strong players, and our final scout to Sweden to find some defensive-minded players. With our scouts being out for 6 months previously, we have gotten some new players in, and one of those players is Urs Schaller. He is a 5'7" left mid. He is a 60 overall with a potential of 61 to 83. I won't be keeping him at the club long term. However, his value is $400,000, and we could definitely use with what we could sell him for. This player I have had in my youth academy for about 3-4 months now. He is an absolutely fantastic player. He's a 6'2" attacking center mid. He's a 60 overall, and he has a potential of 93 to 94. So he could be the next Ronaldo or Messi. We just need to train him up to make sure that he is able to fulfill his potential. Shocking to no one, he does have potential to be special, so again, we will definitely make sure that he achieves that. We now get into the first game of this episode as we host Regensburg at the Flyer Alarm Arena. We will be continuing to line up in our 4-2-3-1 as we will have Mueller in goal. We will have Hemmerich at right back, Hintermeyer and Hagel at center backs, Hathords at left back, Lubicic and Nasi at defensive mids, Sontheimer at right mid, Schulte at left mid, Krishavili at attacking mid, and Zivkovic up top. Regensburg will be lining up in a 4-2-2-2. In the 3rd minute, Regensburg have the ball. We are then able to win the ball back as we looked to just pass it around and create some chances. But we then get the ball into Krishavili, who plays Zivkovic in behind the defense. He takes a perfect touch before he smashes it past the keeper to put us up 1-0 in the 5th minute. In the 22nd minute, Hathords wins the ball before we end up working the ball to Schulte, who is played in behind the defense. He then cuts back before he plays the ball over the top into the back post to Krishavili. However, the goalkeeper ends up punching it into the back of the net, meaning that we are now up 2-0 in the 23rd minute. In the 28th minute, we have another attacking opportunity as Nasi is dribbling one-on-one. He then plays it into Krishavili, who plays it through to Zivkovic, who puts it past the keeper with his weak foot in the 29th minute to put us up 3-0. In the 33rd minute, we're looking to build out of the back, or we're able to do so. Sontheimer plays Nasi, who plays Krishavili before he turns his defender, does a quick 1-2 with Lubicic to create some space. He ends up going back to Lubicic, and Lubicic carries the ball before it's played behind the defense to Zivkovic, who again smashes it past the keeper to put us up 4-0 in the 35th minute. In the 82nd minute, we end up losing the ball in our own half. Regensburg then are just content with passing the ball around. We win the ball back, however, we then immediately turn it over, and right after that, Regensburg end up putting the ball into the back of the net as they get the consolation goal, and the score is now 4-1 in the 83rd minute. At full time, we would end up winning 4-1. I definitely feel like we should have won by more, and we should not have conceded that goal. However, you cannot complain with a 4-1 win. We now have an extremely crucial league game as we face Ingolstadt, who are in 2nd place, and they are 14 points behind us, meaning if we win this, we could go 17 points clear and essentially clinch the league. We now travel to Ingolstadt Stadium to face them. Ingolstadt will be lining up in a 4-4-2. For this game, we will continue to line up in our 4-2-3-1. The only change we have made is Schaller is in for Schulte as he is out suspended. In the 61st minute, we have a corner. The first attempt does not work. We then play Hathords gets the ball out wide and he plays it to Krishavili. He misses the open chance that definitely could have been the equalizer for us, as Ingolstadt had scored very early on in this game. However, the attack is not over as we continue to press the ball. We end up winning their goal kick before we look to go right back at them. Sontheimer gets the ball. He plays Zivkovic in behind. Zivkovic cuts it back before he plays it to Sontheimer, who shoots the ball. However, the keeper is able to save it, but the pressure is on and we now have a corner, so we still have a good chance of equalizing the game. Krishavili gets the ball out wide. He then crosses it in, and Lubicic is able to win the header and put the ball into the back of the net as we tie the game up now at 1-1. Just a couple of minutes after we scored our first goal, we now have the ball in their attacking third as Zivkovic plays the ball in behind the defense for Krishishvili. He ends up turning his defender before he composes himself and smashes it into the left upper 90 to put us up 2-1 in the 73rd minute. At full time, we would go on to win 2-1 thanks to a goal from Lubicic and Krishishvili. We now have a tough game in the league as we host Firth at the Fire Alarm Arena. We have only made one change to the team as Schmidt is in for Schaller as he is returned from injury. Firth will be lining up in a 4-3-3 holding. In the 7th minute, Firth have the ball out wide on the left. The ball gets crossed into the box. Hathert kicks it away. We then immediately look to attack them on the counterattack. Krishishvili is able to expertly dribble past his defender before finding Nassi. Nassi then plays Zivkovic in behind the defense, and now all he has to do is beat one defender. We look to pass it, but it does not work. However, we keep possession of the ball. Zivkovic's shot is saved by the keeper before it's tapped in by Sontheimer as we go up 1-0 in the 10th minute. In the 20th minute, we have the ball in our midfield third as we are switching the play currently. The ball then gets played into Nassi, who plays it to Krishishvili, who then holds up the ball for Lubicic. His pass is not good enough, as Firth will now be looking to counterattack us after that mistake by Krishishvili. They are doing well, however they seem to have slowed it down. Krishishvili then wins the ball right after that, and he tries to play Zivkovic before he turns it over, but we press and win the ball back as Lubicic plays Krishishvili in behind the defense. Krishishvili keeps good positioning before putting it past the keeper to put us up 2-0 in the 24th minute. In the 36th minute, we are possessing the ball with our back line. There's then ample opportunity of space for Hintermeyer, our center back, to dribble up. He then dribbles all the way into their box before he cuts it back, and he loses the ball, but he wins it right back before it's played into Sontheimer, who gets the ball, and we look to just simply keep possession of the ball and wait for an opportunity to arise. We switch the ball all the way out wide to Hathert. Hathert plays Nassi, who shields off his defender, dribbles past, he knocks it across for Zivkovic, as Zivkovic gets the easy tap in for our third goal of the game to put us up 3-0 in the 40th minute. In the 43rd minute, we are again looking to possess the ball. The ball gets played into Lubicic. Lubicic plays Krishishvili, however he loses the ball. Firth are now looking very rapid on the counterattack as Hintermeyer gets caught out of position. He then has to track back on the defense. They are then able to work the ball into our box. Mueller comes out, he makes the first save, and we now look to counterattack. However, Lubicic turns over the ball. We are then in danger of being counterattacked ourselves, and they do counterattack us very well as they score in stoppage time of the first half to make the score now 3-1. In the 75th minute, we have a corner kick. The first attempt does not work. We then look to swing it back into the box before Zivkovic absolutely towers over their player and heads the ball into the back of the net to put us up 4-1 in the 75th minute. At full time, we would go on to win 4-1 thanks to a goal from Sontheimer and Krishishvili and 2 goals from Zivkovic. We now have another league game as we travel to Magdeburg. Magdeburg will be lining up in a 4-1-4-1. I've decided to switch up the formation and the tactics as we are a more dominant team, so we can now play more of a possession-based game. As we will change to this 4-3-3 holding, we'll have Mueller in goal. Our back line will stay the same with Hemmerich, Hintermeyer, Hagel, and Hathert. Lubicic will be playing our defensive mid. We'll have Nassi and Sontheimer at center mids. We'll have Krishishvili at right mid, Schmidt at left wing, and Zivkovic up top. In stoppage time of the first half, Krishishvili loses the ball in their defensive third. They then get the ball and they are looking to counterattack. They're doing well as the ball gets swung out wide for their winger. Hemmerich is one-on-one with him. They end up playing it into another player before the ball is cut back and put into the back of the net as we go down 1-0 just before halftime. In the 79th minute, they have a corner. We clear it away. However, they are able to win it back right afterwards. We cannot win the ball out wide before it is then crossed into the box and put into the back of the net as we now go down 2-0 in the 80th minute. In the 85th minute, Sontheimer has the ball out wide. He plays it into Zivkovic, who is in the box. He muscles off a defender before he was fouled, however it was not given. Lubicic then wins the header as Hathert controls the ball. He plays it back to Lubicic. Lubicic then plays it into Sontheimer, who then takes his defender on one-on-one. and then he lays it across for Zivkovic, who puts the ball into the back of the net to make the score now 2-1 in the 88th minute, as we do have a chance to tie the game. At full time, we ended up not being able to tie the game up as we lost 2-1. We now travel to face 1860 München. 1860 München will be lining up in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. The only player that I see as dangerous is their left back Steinhardt. I have not made any changes to the starting lineup, even though we did just lose to Magdeburg. We definitely could have won that game if we had converted the right chances. In the 28th minute, we have the ball in our attacking third. We are just passing the ball around the edge of their box before we then play into Zivkovic, who turns his defender and puts it into the back of the net to put us up 1-0 in the 29th minute. In the 45th minute, Sontheimer wins the header. He plays it into Ljubicic, who plays Schmidt, who has space and time on the wing. He outpaces his defender. He then muscles him off before he gets the ball into the box. He cuts it back, plays it back to Sontheimer. His first attempt does not go. Schmidt then gets the rebound. He dribbles past the defender before crossing it back post to Zivkovic, who puts the ball into the back of the net to put us up 2-0 just before halftime. In the 46th minute, we are currently possessing the ball in our own half, as we are again just looking to move and manipulate the defense. We have multiple options available, which is exactly what we want for playing this possession type style. Krisheveli is definitely causing a problem for their defense, as he has been doing those passes and dribbles all game long. We then look to play it in behind the defense to Krisheveli. However, we lose the ball, but Nassi wins it right back, playing it back to Krisheveli, who dribbles around his defender and crosses it back post to Schmidt, who puts the ball into the back of the net to put us up 3-0 in the 50th minute. In the 87th minute, 1860 München have the ball. Hemmerich misses his first tackle. Hintermeyer then overplays the ball. The player then plays it in behind the defense for his teammate Steinhardt. There is then a sloppy cross into the box, which is converted by their striker. However, it's just a consolation goal, as we are currently winning now 3-1. At full time, we would go on to beat 1860 München 3-1, thanks to 2 goals from Zivkovic and a goal from Schmidt. We now take a quick break from the action to promote some youth players to our first team. The first player that we will be promoting is Bram Decker. He is a 5'5" attacking right wing. He is a 60 overall with a potential of 81 to 87. With him showing great potential, he could be a good player for us in the future, or he could be a good player off the bench. But with dynamic potential, he could have an even higher potential, so we'll just have to wait and see with him. One player that I have decided to loan out is one of our youth players, Raphael Schuster. He just hasn't played a game at all, so I've decided to loan him out for a year to Salford City once the transfer window opens in July. Another youth player I'm promoting is Urs Haas. He's a 6'4" Swiss goalkeeper. He is an overall of 58 with a potential of 75 to 89, as he could be a good backup for Müller in the future. Another youth player that I am promoting is Hendrik Persson. He is a 5'9" center back. He is a strong player. He is an overall of 60 with a potential of 75 to 91. I will most likely utilize him at left back, as I feel like he is too small to be playing center back. Persson is showing great potential, and he can play center back or left back, which is where he most likely will end up be playing. We do have some bad news, as Luke Hemmerich has torn his calf muscle and he will be out for 6 weeks, which is essentially through the rest of the season. One player that our youth scouts just found is Jan Thomason. He is a 6'4" left back. He has an overall of 60 with a potential of 78 to 94. Arguably one of the best shocks is that he has potential to be special, so we definitely will make sure that he is playing plenty and receiving good enough training so that he could be a first team player for us, maybe even next season. We now return to some of our league action as we host FC Zwoku at the Flyer Alarm Arena. We will be continuing to line up in our 4-3-3 holding. The only change that I have made is that since Hemmerich is out injured, I've decided to put Decker in at right back. FSV Zwoku will be lining up in a 3-5-2. In the 12th minute, we have the ball in our attacking third. Ljubicic plays Sontheimer, who curls it around the defender and around the goalkeeper to put us up 1-0 in the 13th minute. In the 35th minute, we end up winning the ball back. Decker turns it over, though. However, Ljubicic is able to play the ball into Hagel, who then turns and collects himself as we play the ball into Müller. Müller then plays the ball out wide to Hathertz, as we are again just not trying to force anything, just trying to possess the ball and control the ball. The ball gets played out to Krisheveli, who plays Decker. Decker then plays Krisheveli in behind the first defender. Krishvili played Sontheimer in behind another defender before finally playing Zivkovic in behind the defense, and Zivkovic puts it into the back of the net to put us up 2-0 in the 39th minute. In the 51st minute, we have a corner as Sontheimer looks across it into the box. He does so, and he is able to connect with Ljubicic's head as Ljubicic heads into the back of the net to put us up 3-0 in the 51st minute. In stoppage time in the second half, Decker ends up losing the first header. The ball then goes out of bounds for Zwoku as they take it quickly as they look to get a final consolation goal. Our defense is not looking good as we fail to pick up some players. Decker is then beaten on the wing. They now have the ball inside of our box. We win the ball back, however, we turn it over immediately, and Zwoku capitalized on that mistake to make the score 3-1. At full time, we would go on to win 3-1 thanks to goals from Sontheimer, Zivkovic, and Ljubicic. Now, what I did not realize from this game is even though we have 6 or 7 games remaining, this was the title clinching game. So with that 3-1 win, we have just won the league. As the players are celebrating, as this has been a journey for some of these players for 2 years, or some of them just one, as our captain, Ljubicic, will be the one to lift the German third-tier trophy. Ljubicic now steps onto the podium as he celebrates with his other players, as we will officially be crowned champions of the German third tier. And now it's official. FC Würzburger Kickers are officially champions of the Bundesliga 3. Here's the team picture as Würzburg are 3 Liga champions. After winning the league, we continue with some good news, as Urs Haas has now grown to a 60 overall, so we can see that he is showing great potential, so he could overtake Mueller in the distant future. Since we have just won the league and I will not be playing first team players for the rest of the season, I've decided that I will be promoting some youth players to get them some game experience, and the first of those players is Mats Schulz. He is a 5'8" German playmaking center mid. He is a 58 overall with a potential of 79 to 85. Lucas Bader will also be joining the first team as he is a defensive-minded Swiss right back that is 6'2". He is an overall of 55 with a potential of 77 to 83. Cedric de Graaf will also be joining them. He is a left back from the Netherlands. He is a physically strong player who is 5'11". He is a 61 overall with a potential of 79 to 85. Cedric de Graaf is showing great potential, so he will most likely have to battle it out with some of our other players for that left back spot. Mats Axelsson will also be joining the first team as he is a 5'11" Swedish goalkeeper. He is a 63 overall with a potential of 69 to 89. I do not plan on playing him at all. I just plan on promoting him and selling him next season to earn some more money. Axelsson does not even show great potential, so we definitely will be getting rid of him next season. The final player that I am promoting is Steinar Rasmussen. He is a 6' Norwegian left back. He is very defensive minded. He is an overall of 64 with a potential of 61 to 85. Like Axelsson, he is not showing great potential, so he will be sold starting next season. After our backups played the final league games, this is the final table. As we came in first with 95 points, we were still 17 points ahead of second place without playing any of our starters for the last couple of games. We now look at the top scorers, and Krishvili ended up being the top goal scorer as he scored 27 goals in 38 matches. Zivkovic came in second with 23 goals in 34 matches, and Sontheimer came in third with 17 goals in 38 games. We also dominate on the assists chart, as Krishvili finishes with 17 assists in 38 games, and Zivkovic finishes with 12 assists in 34 games. Goalkeeper Mueller would tie for first in clean sheets, as he had 15 in 33 games. Although we did well in the league, we did not do as well in the DFB Pokal, as we did lose in the second round to Werder Bremen. However, for us being a third-tier side and them being a first-tier side, I consider that a good result. We now look at all of our team stats specifically. Looking at appearances, Krishvili and Sontheimer led the team with 44 appearances. Hagel came in second with 43, and Ljubicic came in third with 41. Looking at our top goal scorers, Krishvili came in first with 28 goals, Zivkovic in second with 23, and Sontheimer scored 18. Our players with the most assists, Krishvili also had 17 assists, Zivkovic had 12 assists, and Sontheimer had 9. Looking at our players who kept the most clean sheets, Kirshvili, Sontheimer, Nassi, and Hagel kept 18. Mueller and Hemmerich kept 17, and Lubicic kept 16. Looking at our players with the highest overall, Sontheimer is the highest overall as he is at 75. Kirshvili is a close second with 74, and Lubicic is a close third with 73. Hagel would be the only player on our team whose overall went down. Bindhammer, one of our youth players' overalls, went up by 7. Ours overall went up by 6, and Schmidt and Decker's overalls both went up by 4. Looking at our overall resume, we have won our first piece of silverware as we won the league this year. We had a new biggest win as we beat SV Waldhof 5-0. Our biggest defeat still remains the same. Our record transfer fee was for $3 million. We have played a total of 86 games. We have won 49. We have drawn 20, lost 17, scored 155 goals, and only allowing 91. Looking at this season specifically, the club wanted us to fight for promotion, which we did by winning the title. The club wanted us to reach the round of 32 stage. We were only one stage away as we lost in the second round. Our record transfer fee that we paid was for Zivkovic of $3 million, and the record transfer fee that we received was for Pfeiffer of $890,000. We did not win Manager of the Month or Manager of the Year. This season, we played 44 games. We won 32, we drew 6, we lost 6, we scored 94 while only allowing 39. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I post 3 videos a day, so if you want to stay tuned and see what other type of content that I post, subscribe to my channel. And it's JTV Gaming, signing off.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.